What's up, everybody? How you doing? Hello, hello. I think I'm having some microphone difficulties, so please, if you're in the house, let me know if there's a lot of static right now. I'm not sure. I see my microphone's like going off like crazy. So before I go any further on this live stream, I want to make sure my microphone is good and I'm not crazy, so I'll wait a couple seconds, a couple mic checks. If I'm solid, give me a thumbs up, give me a like if we're good, so we can get into the lesson this evening. Checking my stuff right now. It looks good, but I just see a lot of static on my monitors. So I don't know why it's doing that. Hello, Selvin. How are you? Got 6 people in the house so far. If you're with me, please drop a comment. Let me know you're here. I want to give a couple minutes for people to jump in here real quick. Just want to make sure we're good. I got an awesome message for you guys tonight. Some good information that I want to share with you all. Hello, Eric. Hello, Craig, Chris. Chris, how's my audio? Eric, Craig, Selvin, how's my audio doing? I want to make sure I'm on the right page. Don't worry, as I get better, as I keep doing more live streams, I'm going to get real down packed with my audio. Trust me. I'm going to get better at this. It's hard to like get the right sounding and audio and all that stuff. But don't you worry. Okay, Craig says I'm good. Chris says I'm good. All right. Cool. So how is everybody doing? All right, we're like a couple days into this, pandemic now. It's been official. It's over a week or so. Different cities are shutting down. I'm expecting my area to, bring everything to a halt. I noticed that, my parents are still going to work, so that means that, still there's certain businesses that are still operating right now, but I do have a feeling going into the second week or so that things might get a little bit more interesting, a little never before seen stuff. I mean, we are seeing a lot of never before seen stuff. I mean, I saw a Minority Mindset YouTube channel. They put out another video talking about 70,000 plus Americans out of work right now. So a big financial tip for those who have been laid off, lost their jobs, or know someone that lost their job. It is recommended for you to go on unemployment right now. And I believe there are some bills that are trying to be passed to alleviate some pressure. Like I'm hearing 1,000, I'm hearing as high as 2,000. I'm hearing $2,000 per adult and then 1,000 per child. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I saw another video by the name of Andre Geek, who talks a lot about dividend investing and index investing. So he posted a video talking about like pretty much everyone around him is like, getting hit with what's going on here. And he recommended some, really good things. So I'm just kind of passing along that information to my audience here today and those that'll catch the replay. Might want to look up unemployment benefits, look out for that, or pay attention to this bill or whatever gets passed through the administration so that funds can get to the proper individuals. I think it's some sort of relief fund or something of that nature. So keep an eye on that for those who are like struggling, okay? that group, struggling financially. If you're doing all right, if you're still employed, you're still working, but maybe there's a slowdown, might want to start, dipping into your vacation time so that you keep getting, paid your salary or whatever that may be. If your company decides to completely shut down, if you've been watching the previous live streams that I've been putting out, I've been talking a lot about making yourself the most valuable player in your company. If you have a career job or a regular paying job, hourly, salary or a compensation plan, whatever that may be, that now's the time, if you haven't already been doing it, but you should be stepping up your game and productivity, performance, like you should really be standing out because now is the time. While everybody else is running and hiding, going into hibernation, you should be like trying to work your butt off, like figuring out how can I work from home to keep providing value to my company so that I don't have to worry about losing that main source of income, okay? And that was something that I went over in a previous video, being the MVP, making yourself so valuable that they can't drop you even in a crisis. I talked about negotiating with business owners, managers, CEOs of the company, sending them an email saying, listen, I want to ride through this crisis with your company, with you guys together. How can I be of help in a time of crisis, right? Make yourself available even when, we're in a crisis and there's lockdown. There's always a way. Fortunately, in this type of crisis that we're in, technology is still available. So there are so many things that you can be doing for your company or for yourself to accelerate, to take advantage, to continue to make money, right? Just because a crisis occurs doesn't mean money has to stop flowing, okay? Money needs to keep flowing no matter what. No matter what the circumstance is, you always need to have what? Cash flow coming in, right? If you're someone that is, your four major numbers, right? So I'm kind of going up the level right now. I talked about people who are in the weeds, backed up against the wall, right? You're struggling. Now I'm talking to the, okay individuals. Now I'm talking to people who are, you have, say, an emergency fund, or you have at least 6 months up to a year worth of expenses. You don't have to dip into any debt to cover your lifestyle, to cover your needs, food, shelter, water, to continue things, right? If you're someone that has assets, have capital, you have cash on hand, got some investments, your income's good, your cash flow's great, got good credit, you got a line of credit, a debt tool, cash value policy, a HELOC, if you're in that position, okay? This video is going to be really good for you to step up your game to make sure that you don't fall back, but that you stay in the same position that you're in through the crisis, right? So wherever you're ranking yourself, yesterday I went over giving yourself a ranking in terms of your financial house on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at, right? So for those who are, I want to say 6, 7, and up, right? That means if you ranked yourself a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your financial house, your financial health, right? If you're a 6 and up, this video is going to be very good for you so that okay, even though things are getting rough and people around me are hurting, I don't need to be following those people that are hurting. I need to be thinking of ways that I can help them, stay afloat, push them up, and I need to be thinking about how I can become an even better manager, an even better steward over money so that I continue to be master over money and it not master me, right? We can't have it reversed, okay? We have to be master over money. I seen another stat earlier on another video talking about how just over 30-40% or so of Americans right now have less than $1,000 in free cash flow, whether that be in a savings account or literally cash on hand whatever it is, $1,000. Newsflash, there's no magical pill when it comes to finances. So if you have less than $1,000 to work with right now during a crisis or even not in a crisis, there is not one single financial strategy in terms of, like, say, velocity banking, debt snowball, infinite banking. None of those things, right, these concepts are gonna change an individual, right? The individual has to change their behaviors first and their lenses, the financial lenses, their perspective on money. That needs to change first, because if I give that person money, they're gonna lose it so fast. It doesn't matter what financial strategy I give them, right? For those 40% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck and don't have an emergency fund, don't have assets, don't have capital, and somehow you still manage to somehow go on vacations and buy gifts on Christmas and birthday parties and go out on every Friday night and do dine out 2-3 times a week, dine in, Uber Eats, right? I don't know how you're able to do that stuff, but now you're going to realize in times of crisis, now you're going to feel the pain for not having that proper behavior, right? And that is super important. And I'm also letting you know there is no magic pill when it comes to money. There's no fast way out of it. It's simple stuff. You got to get the basics down first, okay? Coming back to the people that I want to target today is I want to go over financial opportunities. All right, so this obviously is going to apply to people who have the mindset already. You have the will, you have the authority, you get it. We're past the basics, okay? Talking to these specific people here because these are the people that are going to be able to help the masses. These are the people that are going to survive during a crisis. These are the people that are going to thrive during a crisis. We're going to talk about financial opportunities in 2020 right now during a crisis, and I'm simply going to go over financial opportunities that I myself am personally engaged with, okay? I always speak for myself when it comes to money and finances. I talk about what I'm doing. I'm not worried about what no one else is doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing and how I can advance so I can keep building my big, beautiful kingdom that's backed by the kingdom of heaven, right? God Almighty, to support my endeavors. I read an amazing scripture that talked about whatever you bind, right, here on earth gets binded in heaven, right? I think that applies to people who obviously believe and who are kingdom citizens, that it applies to them. I mean, if you're not a believer, then you wouldn't even think that way. But I saw a really cool scripture and I'm like sticking to it right now because I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. Like whatever I bind here in his name, right, gets binded in heaven. So any good deed that I do in God's name, it's now being done in heaven. Any investment that I do in God's name, it's being invested in heaven. All my treasures, all my riches, all my wealth, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, the position, the authority that I have here on earth gets sent to heaven so that when I get to heaven, right, when I go there, I'm going to have purpose, I'm going to have a role, I'm going to have some authority. I don't know what the plans are just yet, but I do know what I got to do here on earth. What do I need to be binding here on earth? Who do I need in my corner to support me during a crisis and after? Okay? Let me just turn over to the chat room real quick, see who's in the house. Cool, we got 37 people in here already. Love it. Love it. Elizabeth says, hello, Denzel. Started watching your channel on February 23rd and joined your manifesto on March 7th. Yes, I know who you are. You sent me some messages already. Hope you're enjoying the lessons, the videos. You know, I hope you've been going through it. By the way, anyone that's in the manifesto program, you're brand new, right? or you just bought the program, I have eyes in the sky, so to speak. So I know if you're watching the content or not. I can see everything. I can see your progress. I can see the last time you logged on. So I have a funny story to tell you. I had one person so far that sent me an email long. It was a woman. I don't know if she was a mom or not. I just know it was a lady. Sent me this long email, showed it to my girlfriend. I'm like, look at this lady. It's going nuts. Talking about wanting a refund or pretty much criticizing the program, that all I did was basically take all the videos on my YouTube channel, which I did, right? Restructure them, put them in the manifesto in order, which is exactly what I did. That's exactly what the manifesto is. I'm taking all of my existing content plus content that I don't post on the YouTube channel, and I put it in a chronological order with additional notes, with additional rules, fundamentals, additional videos. Basically, the manifesto is my life's work. So if it's my life's work, it also is including the YouTube channel itself. So here I am, this is what I've done, and I've explained it before on my YouTube channel, previous videos when I've sold it. But, here she is criticizing the whole program. She's like, I'm not getting the value out of it. I paid this. And the funniest thing is when I looked back in my history and I was like, I don't think she actually paid for the program. I looked back in my history. The woman never paid for the program. I gave it to her for free as a means to help, right? To want to give. I gave it to her for free, and she's trying to tell me she paid for it, wants her money back. And I'm like, at the time that I was selling the program, I was selling it for $7 a month at the time. And it cost $70, and I was giving it away for life, literally from my whole life. So from now to the day I die, whatever videos I make goes in the manifesto, and it's there for people to learn and view. So, just in a nutshell, hey, I can see whether you are taking action or not. I can see whether you are putting the time in. I can see your comments. I can see your emails. So do not for once think that I do not know who my clients are, who's doing the work, who's getting the results, who's taking action. At the end of the day, it is up to you whether or not you want to survive or die in a crisis, whether you want to thrive or be poor, whether you want to be rich or be ignorant, right? Whether you want to be wealthy, whether you want to be a king or a queen, or you want to be a servant, right? Do you want to rule or do you want to be ruled? Okay? Do you want to be a ruler or do you want to be owned by someone else, right? Do you want to be a slave? Do you want to be just bound, right? These are terrible words that should not tie to a human being. Slavery, bondage, just no purpose, no use, right? At the end of the day, it's up to you. You have the choice. You must take action, okay? So that is my message to those who I am giving things, material, knowledge, and wisdom. I'm creating the opportunity. I'm giving because I'm binding it with God. So whether you do the work or not, I've already binded it, declared it as a giving. So the Lord is already going to bless me, right? Because I'm putting His reputation on the line, right? I'm putting His systems. Once I discovered how the kingdom of heaven works, how the Bible works, and how God works overall, I became very bold. I started to challenge God Himself. I said, you know what? If the Bible is true, I must test it. I can't just believe just to believe. I need to know. I need to see it. I need to know it. I need to have so much faith in it that no matter what, even in the midst of failure, even in the midst of a setback, even in the midst of a chaos, I will still prevail. The promises that God gave me will still prevail. So in order for me to test that through the fire, through the crisis, I must experience it. I must do it. I must work, right? I must take action, all right? I hope that this is sinking in for you guys as I'm coming to you daily during this crisis. I had a video drop today, right? And I'm coming at you live, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I'm sure a lot of you were there. I know I saw some familiar names in the chat in today's earlier video that I dropped. Let's see. Chris says, oh no, AA says, hello. Edward, hi from Texas. Hello. Love all my Texas clients. I've noticed, like, when it comes to military clients, police officers, firemen, people in the medical field, doctors, I think I've had one or two attorney type of clients, I think a lawyer. Guys are disciplined, man. I don't know what it is, but then, I talk to people with lower paying jobs, lower income. It's like a headache sometimes. The people that I give for free, man, they drain you the most. It's the weirdest thing. And you want to give, you want to help, but it can be so difficult to give to someone that doesn't want to be helped, right? Or doesn't even know. They're just so bitter, right? You got to avoid those people, especially in times of crisis. You want to avoid people that want something for nothing. Those are dangerous people to be around. They want something for nothing. Those are the most dangerous people to be around in this time period. You want to get around people that are like, hey, I need this. I need help, and I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z for your company. I'm willing to babysit. I'm willing to do graphics for your company. I'm willing to fix your thumbnails. I'm willing to, post some blog posts or do some editing, some copywriting, answer phone calls for you, take your calls, respond to your emails. Those are the people you want to get around, because those are the people that are hungry, super hungry, right? All right, Chris says, Republicans finally doing something right, but the Democrats trying to mess it all up. Interesting. I'm not too educated on what's going on right now, so I don't know if I could agree or disagree, but I would assume, I hope to assume that the Republicans and Democrats are coming together right now in a time of crisis. I think we're seeing that, being that, in the past 3 years or so, that hasn't been the case, right? A lot of conflict. But I think in the midst of a crisis, I think some things are starting to come together, which is interesting. People come together during crisis, right? It's like, what else? You got to work together. You got to work with your enemy in the midst of a crisis. Got to. And then they end up becoming your best friend. Loyal comrades. Okay. What kind of businesses have a good chance of thriving in the next few months? What kind of businesses have a good chance of thriving in the next few months? I don't know if it's the kind of business or it's more so the person running the business, right? Because I'm sure people are assuming right now, like, all the restaurants are going to hurt. But there are some really cool, innovative, creative ideas that some restaurants are doing right now. For example, I watched another video earlier of a digital marketing girl on YouTube that I follow, who I've done some work with. She was talking about in a taco place or taco restaurant. They shut down and they started selling taco, I think, containers, where they're giving people these taco containers or whatever to have people make the tacos at home. They give the recipe, right? It's like this little box, and here, you make tacos, right? At the comfort, and they'll deliver it to you or something like that. In addition, when you buy this taco container or whatever they're calling it, they also added a roll of toilet paper. Because in their restaurant, they have bathrooms nobody's going in the bathroom. No one's using the restroom. So they have all this toilet paper at these fast food or restaurants, right? Or if they're a chain. So here you got these businesses that, so it really doesn't matter the kind of business. I think it's more so the person behind the business. Who's the owner? Who's being innovative? Who's got the ideas? Because it's things like that. It's like brilliant, right? So it's like they're given a roll of toilet paper along with a whole recipe on how to make their tacos, right? Then I think there's other coffee houses that are probably creating content right now on how to, make an awesome coffee from home. And they give you all the ingredients. And most people have coffee makers at home and all the material to make their own really good cup of coffee. So I don't know. It's not really the businesses or a certain business. It's the people behind it. Who's taking the action, right? Who's being innovative? Tiffany, screen has gone blank, but I can hear you. Really? No way. I see myself. There's no way. Hopefully that's not the case. Hidden says, sorry, not able to purchase, but I definitely cleared 8 credit cards following your steps. Thank you. Your free content helped me. That's another thing. I had another dude from New York, Puerto Rican guy, reach out to me, says he's a dad and da-da-da, all this information. And he's like, yo, man, you know, you never reached out. You never respond to my emails. I'm like, dude, you're not taking any action. Like, you say you need help. And so I send an automated email saying, hello, thank you for filling out a contact form. By the way, here are my programs and services. If you have any questions regarding my programs and services, you can send me another email and I'll be glad to, answer that question. But if you come at me with some negativity, which trust me, I don't need any of it. If you come at me with a negative email, dude, I'm going to ignore that thing so fast, right? Because it's like, why should I waste my time? There's a mother out there that needs help. There's another man, father, young adult, old adult. There's other people out there that I'm trying to get to that are willing to take the action, that are willing to get the results. When I get emails from people that are like, yo, I've been following you for the past 9 months. I've done X, Y, and Z. I'm up to this point. I had a little setback, but I'm trying to do my best. I enrolled in the manifesto, so I'm doing that right now. I have a quick question regarding the line of credit. I'm about to get the line of credit. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Like they lay it all out. And those I respond to because I'm like, oh my God, like here's someone that watched me for 9 months. They watch all the videos, kind of like a guy like Hidden, who's watching all the videos, getting results, paid off 8 credit cards. I'm not sure if I've ever spoken to Hidden before personally, like on the phone, but I see him in the chat room all the time. Every time I go live, this guy's here. Hidden. I see the name every freaking time, right? Go back to any live stream. I bet you'll see his YouTube name on any of my live streams. So if a person like that reached out to me through email and was like, yo, I did X, Y, and Z, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm about to get there, just need a little help, a little advice, can you help me? I'm in it. I'm in it to win it with that person because I see they're taking the effort, taking the action. Love it. So good job. Shout out to Hidden. George Brown. Hey bro, been watching you since you started with the paper board in the room with the window. Proud of you. Keep it up. You've come a long way. Be blessed. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a struggle. Dave Sincere says, thanks to Velocity Banking, I'm not stressed out about this CV thing. What is that? You mean cash value thing? It was a year ago. I would be scrambling. My credit is over 800 and I'm just about to be debt free. Love it. I have over $100,000 of credit at my disposal. That's awesome. That'll get you through this crisis easily. Yep. Hidden says, you can pass me blessings of free BC. What is BC? I'm definitely taking notes and need it. Great. This conversation needs some positive energy. Yes, yes, yes. People will drain you when it's free, but when you charge, they are often in line. It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, a lot of people think that the Bible's free, that God offers this salvation thing for free. It ain't free. Salvation ain't free. No way. There are steps, there's a process, there's a lot of work involved. You got to give your whole freaking life to this system, this way of being, this attitude. You have to engage, involve, give, be willing to serve. Like, it ain't free. Nothing really is free. I mean, it's like maybe the thing is free, but then there's more work involved with that free thing. So, you know, it's like my friend Joel said, there's no free lunch, or I forgot what he had mentioned. Some people just need an opportunity. Yes, I totally agree with you, Chris. And it's like you hand it, and they drop it. And I'm like, dang, man. Then it says, you're a blessing, and if you ever feel like being more giving, I would definitely love it and appreciate it. Your free content is definitely gems. Just have to rewatch multiple times to, you know, get it. Gems. Love it. Yes, I'm going to be doing some more giving this evening, so you better stay. You better stay involved. Better stay engaged. I hope you're taking notes. Got 35, 38 people in the house. Listen, I've been giving for the past couple days. I'm going to keep giving. I'm going to keep declaring it. I'm binding it here on earth so it can get binded in heaven. I am transferring as much of my wealth, treasures, heart, soul, everything. I'm trying to transfer everything I do, bind it so that it gets transferred to heaven, so that heaven can release the blessings, the infinite resource, so heaven can release the blessings back to me here on earth, so I can be even more effective in my teachings, be more powerful, impactful with my voice, with my words, with my passion, right? And keep things going. Okay. Let's go. Y'all got me hot already. I'm already feeling the energy. Joey Thomas says, hello, Denzel. Been Velocity Banking for 3 months now and blessed. Love it. AA says, hey, Denzel, you have really helped me. My credit score is up to 723, and I have paid almost $20,000 down in debt. Isn't that amazing? So the $20,000 in principal, AA paid off, plus whatever he saved in interest, plus whatever cash flow he has, and now he's in a crisis. We're all in a crisis, a global crisis right now. I bet you he's good. Maybe a little setback. He has to spend a little more money on groceries and food and water, and, you know, make sure all the bills are all taken care of. But since he took action prior to a crisis, prepared prior to a crisis, it's a storm. It's gonna pass, right? People are gonna get hurt. People are gonna die. We know this. There's gonna be sorrow. People are gonna mourn, and, you know, we're gonna eventually, the human race, we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep, you know, these will be stories for us to tell, to prepare the next generation to not make the same mistakes and to move forward and proceed, right? And ultimately, rejoice in his name. I'm telling you, rejoice. Cool. Cobra, I see you clearly. Okay. Oh, that was earlier. Yeah, I don't think my screen went blank. Chris says, Denzel actually teaches you on what he is explaining versus just explaining. Thank you. You know, I really want to focus on that, because I'm taking the Gary Vaynerchuk approach, which is give, ask, right? Or give, right hook. How he, he says jab, right hook, which literally means give, then ask, right? And then I take it a step further, because he also talked about, like, he said it in a podcast like one time, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, right? And this is Gary Vaynerchuk, multi-millionaire, worth hundreds of millions of dollars probably right now, I'm pretty sure. His goal is to buy the jets, so he'll be a billionaire in no time. He said that he gives everything that he does up front for free. And he makes the bet that, so how do I say it? He gives everything up front free, but delivers on the execution. So the only reason why people are paying him is what he says. People pay me money because of execution. My ability to execute on all that free information that I'm giving out to people, right? So I'm taking that same approach. It's like, look, I'm teaching the whole concept up front: velocity banking, infinite banking, kingdom authority, financial opportunities, which we're going to get to in a minute, everything up front. And I'm making the bet that people will hire me, work with me to deliver on the execution of the things that I'm teaching and delivering to people. So that's like my strategy. And I think it should be yours too. If you're someone in this room that is looking to start a business, or you're already in a business and you want to keep, advancing. Okay. All right, Elizabeth. My monthly income is $2,242.83. Expenses, $1,975.34. Debts, $147,000. Oh, Lord. Credit card, $15,000. Mortgage, $132,000. Cash flow, $267.49. I'm going to dump my income into my credit card minus the bills I can't pay with credit. Okay, good. Yes, you're correct, Elizabeth. That is correct. Adventure Prime says, yes, you're on the right track. Billy Flower says, you are correct. You're on your way. Perfect. Yep. The goal is to knock out that credit card. You're using the credit card to pay your expenses, and then you're paying yourself back. Now, we want to be careful. If you believe that you will lose your job over the next week or so, okay, maybe we might want to stack on cash to have instead of just paying off debt. Because once I lose income, I can't pay debts, right? So I want to be careful. $2,242 is not a lot of money, especially in times of crisis. So what you're doing is good. But if you think or feel the energy in your workplace, you're like, ooh, I don't know if this business is going to stay open, or we're going to shut down, or what your role in that company is wherever you work. But if you feel like you are not going to have money, right, you are going to be out of a job in the next couple days or so, it would be better to stack on cash, not to pay off debt. Don't even do debt snowball. Just pay the monthly minimums on everything and just kind of hold on to the cash here. We could still use the credit card to run an expense or whatever we need to run, and then the cash, we would just pay ourselves back to avoid any interest calculating on my expenses. You still have that debt that you're still going to be getting charged interest on. I get that. What velocity banking can do in your situation is at least buy you some time, but you really need to be focusing on how can I go from $2,200 a month to $22,000 a month? How can I 10x in a short period of time? How can I attract money? How can I attract attention? When I attract attention, money comes my way. How can I become the most valuable player in my company so that they do not drop me? This is very important. You don't want to get wiped out because, like I was saying earlier, for those with low income, no emergency fund, no leverage, capital, assets, you don't want to be in that bad situation. So you want to be very, very diligent here, okay? Be very diligent. Born to be Winner says, Denzel Rodriguez, I just want to say thank you for taking your time and energy to helping us. I watch your recordings on YouTube and your methods and teachings. It's helped me out a lot. Love it. Love it. Okay, Elizabeth, if you're just doing this with one credit card, that monthly payment will become cash flow. That's true, but still, you know, we want to be careful with the advice that we're giving Elizabeth right now, because that's low income, low cash flow. That's a dangerous place to be when it comes to velocity banking. Dangerous, especially in a time of crisis. If we weren't in a crisis, be fine, right? Just do it. Velocity banking, yep, makes sense. You're going to go faster, that snowball, great. But if she has no assets, no cash flow, no other source to keep her going, should she lose that primary source of income, we're in trouble. Doesn't matter what concept I'm doing. Goes back to my point. There's no magic here, right? If I don't have those basics down, I'm going to lose. I'm going to get hurt. Stock Walters says, thank you for the financial knowledge. Peace, brother. Peace to you too. God bless you. All right. Let's get into the lesson here, okay? So we're going to talk about what most people talk about in terms of how many streams of income should I have. That's the first thing. But these streams of incomes that I'm going to go over are also financial opportunities that I'm personally engaged in so that I can, you know, execute, okay? So let's get into this, right? 7 streams of income. Before we talk about making money, what do we need to know? Our 4 major numbers, right? How much money do you make, right? How much money do you freaking spend? And then what's the cash flow? What's left over, man? Okay? Gotta know your freaking money. You gotta know. You gotta know your numbers. Where is every single dollar going? Damn it, right? Where is your money going? You need to know. You need to know. I'm telling you, you need to know where all this moolah is going. Where is it going? Who's got my money, like Mr. Uncle G says? Where is it going? Who's got it? Okay? Super important. The other message I want to give to you is that this money has no value. You need to know it, but you also need to know that this is not the source. This is not the source. Let me be very clear. This is not the source. Do you know who the source is? God, okay? God is the source of all of this, okay? He will provide you this. But in order for you to get this, you must know who you are first. What do you bring to the table? What values, what gifts and talents do you have first? How can you give first? How can you seek the kingdom first? And then all these things shall be added unto you. Super, super important. Major thing I want to tell you. Money comes to those who manage. This is insane. Money comes to those who manage. What is management? I'm going to give you the definition of management right now. This is insane. I was looking at some information, watching some videos last night. What is management? You're going to want to write this down. Management is the effective, efficient, correct, and timely use of another person's property and resources for the purpose for which they were delegated with a view to succeed, right? To multiply, to produce, okay? So management is the effective, efficient, correct, and timely use of another person's property and resources for the purpose for which they were delegated to do, okay? Very, very, so important. I want to just get that into your mind, okay? You got to get this stuff. And then I'm going to give you 2 scriptures in a few minutes here, because it's been shocking me lately, the stuff that I've been learning about, both in the Bible, from business CEOs out there that are thriving during this crisis, and just like mindset, overall mindset, okay? So, they say, who's they? Wealthy people. They say that it is important for you to have 7 streams of income. I don't care who you are, how old you are, how young you are, how much knowledge you have, information. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care how tall you are, how short, how fat, how skinny, how thin, medium size, religion, culture, traditions. It doesn't matter. This money right here does not discriminate. It's neutral, okay? It doesn't discriminate at all. Doesn't matter, okay? It does not discriminate. So they say that you should have 7 streams of income. So what I've been doing since the time I started this YouTube channel is trying to figure that out. How do I create 7 streams of income, right? Now, obviously, you have to start with 1. So for most people, it's probably a job or career, right? That's how I started out, but that's not where I should end, all right? I'm more than my job. My job is my skill, but my work is my purpose in life, okay? And you have to get this as well. So, anyone that is looking to learn finances, or I should say become a financial consultant and teach others, because I do have some people that have reached out to me in the past, what I am doing now is I'm incorporating in my one-on-one coaching, right? My one-to-one coaching program that I sell. If you look in the description below, it'll say Velocity Banking Bundle or one-to-one coaching. The price of it is $14.97. It's a 19-month program, which really goes from, I'm going to close that out in May of this year. And I'm basically working with people till the end of 2021, December. And really the main thing was to like help people get out of debt and teach velocity banking, get people ready for infinite banking, real estate investing, starting a business, that sort of thing. But every now and then I get like 1 or 2 clients every now and then that are like, yo, I think I can teach this as well to my people. How can we work together? So instead of me doing the work for the people that you want to help, what I've been thinking about is, okay, how can I multiply myself but not be all in your business? I'd rather you get 100% of whatever it is that you want to do. So in addition to my coaching, what I'm starting to do now is also offer, an extended program, no extra cost, just extended time. If a person literally wants to be a financial consultant and wants to teach finances the way that I've been doing it to help people get results, I'll work with you on that as well, right? So that'll, add another, say, like maybe 6 months or so. I've never done it before, so I'm going to be very, most likely, lenient on it. So I know that's not for everybody. But again, these are just streams of incomes that I'm personally doing to advance my lifestyle, to advance my way to the kingdom, build my own kingdom here on earth, and get in alignment, okay? So financial consultant happens to be my main source of income. I've been blessed with a 6-figure stream of income doing financial consulting, and then making YouTube videos and giving value, okay? So I'm doing that. That's one opportunity. Second opportunity is life insurance, specifically the infinite banking concept. Last year I made about 70 grand or more selling life insurance policies to individuals for the infinite banking concept. So if anybody is looking to get licensed as a life insurance agent, which I have been also getting responses from people reaching out asking, hey, I want to do that. I want to do what you do. I'm like, okay, great. You got to get licensed first in your state, and there is a potential or possibility for you to get, linked up as an independent agent with IBC Global. I always mention them on my YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel. The owner is Steve Parisi, awesome dude. He is the expert on the infinite banking concept. He's the guy that I go to. He's how I design all my policies with my clients. You know, so I'm getting all the information from him. He's also my mentor. He teaches me, coaches me, pushes me to, you know, thrive and move up in life. So that's another opportunity. It requires a license, specifically life and annuity, 214 license, I believe is what it's called. It's relatively inexpensive if you go, or super inexpensive, if you use a company called Primerica, which is like a direct sales company, like a network marketing, or MLM is how they're labeled. So, and they're all over the US, and they license more life insurance agents, I think, than any other company in the US right now. So they have a very successful program to get individuals licensed. And I believe it only, well, I did it myself. I remember paying $100 for a background check. And they provided me with the 40-hour class that you have to take before you get licensed for free. Then the textbooks, the information that they teach you from is also free. You have to then get fingerprinted and some other stuff that does cost money, right? So there's additional cost to that. And then there's a cost to take the state exam in your particular state. So whatever that cost may be. But here's the great part. Primerica will reimburse you for those extra fees beyond the $100 background check. They'll reimburse you if you pass the test the first time. And I remember I passed with like an 87, 83 or 87. I forgot what my score was. It was over 80. And I think you need a 70 or higher to pass, I believe. And then you get licensed. And then you show Primerica your license, and then they reimburse you for the fingerprinting costs or whatever that was, and the cost of the state exam itself. So your investment is $100, become licensed. That's one option, and Primerica will help you do that. And then, you know, you don't have to, you know, Primerica doesn't do infinite banking. They only sell term life insurance. So you can say, listen, you know, don't want to sell term life. I want to take my license elsewhere. So you don't have to get appointed with Primerica. You would get appointed and you would park your license at IBC Global, which gives you the ability to sell life insurance in all of the states so that you're not bound to just one state, right? So that's the benefit of being partnered with an agency. And, you know, you got to negotiate with IBC Global, make a deal, you strike a deal, and you get things going. So that's a fantastic opportunity for those who are financially inclined, that are like, hey, you know, dang, I would love to, you know, provide infinite banking to people. I think it's incredible. I think it's an incredible product. I know it works. I've done it myself, right? If you're that type of person, you're like, look, this thing is great. This is awesome. And I think the other option is to just like, I think it's going to cost more. You do it through your state, and you got to buy the books, and you got to go to the class, and yeah, you're kind of alone, I would say. With Primerica, they hold your hand like the whole freaking way through, in my opinion. They're very, very helpful. I think they're great in that aspect. Okay, so that's the second opportunity. The third opportunity, someone like Elizabeth. This is the perfect opportunity. There's no upfront cost for this. You can figure out referral marketing. You can look up products and services that you love or have purchased in the past, find those companies and see if they have a referral marketing income opportunity. And you can sign up for free, and they give you a link, and you can post that link on your social media profiles. And that goes back to the whole idea of creating massive amount of content right now, especially in the midst of a crisis. This is what you want to be doing. So referral marketing is great. So far through referral marketing, I've made over $5,000 last year in 2019. I think in the neighborhood of 10,000, but I'm being conservative. So I know I made over 5K. I was doing referral marketing with people that I did business with, literally. Like I bought their service. I was like, wow, you have a great service, my friend. Hey, by the way, do you have a referral program where like if I send people your way, you'll compensate me for that, blah, 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 blah. That's freaking awesome. So referral marketing is great. The next stream of income, which is something that I am striving and learning and educating myself to get into, is real estate investing. So far, 2019, but technically I received the money in 2020. I've made $2,000 in real estate investing so far. I put 10K into an investment. I got 12,000 back. So I made $2,000. That was a good experience. I mean, not the best, took a while, but things worked out. I got my money, so I'm happy. But I'm learning how to invest in real estate right now so that when I'm ready to move out from living at home with my parents, when I'm ready to move out and live with my girlfriend, I'm gonna know how to freaking do that thing properly. Where, you know, wherever I go, it's not gonna cost me anything. I'm gonna offset my costs and cash flow the difference, create a long-term investment there. Just ultimately, you know, getting into real estate. I believe there's a lot of overhead cost investing for it. I know a lot of people say that, oh, you don't need credit, you don't need money, you don't need anything to get into real estate investing. I think that's true to a degree, but I'm sure it requires a hell of a lot of work ethic. And at the end of the day, there's always a cost of something to get into anything. So, you know, real estate investing, I think, is a little more on the more expensive side. If I'm in the weeds and I need to just make money now, either I can find a side gig, a side hustle, sell things that I don't need, cut back on expenses. Maybe referral marketing would be a really, really cool, awesome thing to get into. Okay, but anyways, real estate investing, made $2,000 so far, and I'm most likely gonna 10x that number by the end of 2020, like for sure. The next one is Legal Shield. Legal Shield is a network marketing or direct sales, multi-level whatever term you want to use, they're in that category. Legal Shield is a company that sells legal services where you can have a legal attorney at your disposal at any time, like 24/7. I have been a client for 3 years now with Legal Shield, paying 37 or it's like $38 a month, and I have identity theft protection, identity theft. I spelled theft right? Yeah. Identity theft protection, and then legal protection, which is like the main product itself. So identity theft, think of that common thing that you see on the commercials all the time. What is it? LifeLock? I think that's the name of the company. Legal Shield is basically like the next like competitor to LifeLock. Legal Shield actually provides more than what LifeLock does for a better cost and a better overall customer service, in my humble opinion. So I've been a client for 3 years, and then I actually like started a business with Legal Shield in 2019, and I've made $200. Really didn't put too much time or effort into it, which is okay because, you know, my main thing is right here, so I got to stick to what I'm good at. But Legal Shield works perfectly for me as a client because not only do I have identity theft protection, I got legal protection, I also have a business protection plan with them as well, where if I need contracts or any type of legal documents, like they can write those things up for me at like no cost for certain things, and then others I think might have additional costs. It's like 25% off all legal services. Right now, I'm about to finish it up, but I'm doing my trust through them right now. So I have a revocable living trust that is being set up through Legal Shield, and I paid 25% less than what anyone else would pay if they didn't have Legal Shield. So that's a huge savings. So it saves me money and I get a great product. So I got my trust and my will with them as well. So that's, I've been working on that. It's been taking a couple weeks because it's a bit of a process. But wow, well worth my time, well worth my money over the 3 years. And I finally was like, damn, man, if I can make money doing that and I got the money to throw at it. So if you're someone that's like, you have a good 1 or 2 streams coming in and you want to expand, right? You don't want to be dependent on 1 or 2 streams of income. You got a good career, you got good savings, good assets, and you're like, you know what, I want to add something that, doesn't require a whole lot of upfront cost or not a whole lot of work. I can build it over a period of time. Like, can you imagine if all I did was make $200 and doubled it every single year for the next 30 years? What would that look like, right? Like $200 and just double it every single year. So 2020, I make 400. 2021, I make 800. 2022, 16. 23, 32. 64. I mean, look how fast. In no time. Look, I'm already at 6 figures in about 7 years. If all I did was double $200. And that sparked my mind. I was like, you know what? It's work that I can do one time. I make a couple videos every now and then on my channel talking about it, sharing my experience, sharing my story regarding the product, how great it is, how long I've been a loyal client with them. My goodness, I could make 6 figures, even 7 figures or more, just doubling $200 a month over the next 14 years, 30 years, however long I live. And eventually, that has the potential to supersede like a main work thing that I'm doing, right? Because this 6 figures requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work. But this $200 doesn't require no work. Everything is done for me. All I'm doing is pretty much referral marketing, but it's a business where I receive residual income or passive income, right? So that's huge. So this creates passive income for me, where financial consulting is activity. If I keep working, I keep getting paid. But if I stop, eventually the money could have the potential to run out, So that's why, I can't work forever. So I got to develop these other streams of income, right? And eventually turn that into an automation, which I'm working on already. I've got the Velocity Banking Manifesto to do it yourself course. I've got the Velocity Banking Masterclass. Costs a little more money, but it's a little, group coaching. So little by little, I multiply and try to automate that. So Legal Shield, made $200 last year and this year kind of combined in passive income. No work. Just told people about it. Say, hey, it's a great product. Think you should have it. Here are the benefits. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Couple conversations, right? Now, here's the opportunity that I want to lay out for people watching and then people who will watch on the replay, which is if you decide that out of these different opportunities or streams of income that you can engage in yourself with, if Legal Shield happens to be the one that you want to actually start a business with Legal Shield, if you sign up using my link, right, you join my team, because that's how this thing works, I think, if I'm not mistaken, with network marketing. So I don't really understand it fully, but what I do know is that it's a game to create residual income. That's the game. It's like how do you play Monopoly without actually rolling the dice? and keep playing the game. Like, you just kind of roll it once, and then you own the properties, and then you can pretty much kind of sit back and just collect on the other players and have them go to work and play Monopoly for you. So that's what network marketing is all about. In my opinion, that's kind of like how I'm interpreting it right now. And it's like insane to me how lucrative that can be over a long period of time. So I don't know how effective it is in the short term, making a lot of money in the short term. I mean, I hear a bunch of stories and whatnot. Love your comments. You know, let me know what you guys think on this. But this is what I'm doing. So Legal Shield, it aligns with my primary business in terms of finances. It's a great product to have. Anyone that joins, I'll throw in the manifesto for free, right, for a whole entire year. Right, you can join my manifesto program. So if you're someone that you're doing okay financially, you're not hurting, you know your 4 major numbers, you're doing straight, and you're like, you want to team up with me, you want to work with me, you believe in me. I'm 24 years old, dude. I got a lot to learn, a lot to give. I'm going to be in this game for a while. 12,000 subscribers now. Eventually I'll have authority, right? And you can use me to your advantage. Be like, look, I'm partnering with that guy. I'm partnering with that guy, right? And yeah, so if you join, use my link, and let me see if I can do something real quick to like share my screen. But let me look at some comments here. Let's see. Okay, someone said, what is your Legal Shield link? All right, so let me go ahead and like share my computer screen real quick. All right. So if you go to my website, denzelrodriguez.com, which is right here under resources. If you've never been to this page right here, these are all the resources that I've used personally to build my income and to receive free and paid for things as well. But on here, if you click this link that says help empower women by protecting your kingdom and household with Legal Shield. So that right there is my link. It'll take you to here, right? And then I think you click become an associate. Yep. Hit enroll now. Let's look at the cost, because I don't know. I'm in Florida, English. Okay, let's see. Startup cost is $99, right? If you wanted to do that. So if I click on that. Oh yeah, so it's still like $9.95 for identity theft, or a small business plan is $39 a month. Personal plans $24.95. So yeah, this is like super inexpensive. So yeah, that's the link. And then it'll ask you if you want to sign up as a individual or a corporation, I think, like as you go through this. I'm not really sure how this thing works. But there's like there's like an option where it shows you whether you want to sign up as a individual or a corporation. If you sign up as a corporation, you could use this link. So on resources where it says launch your kingdom, right? You can go here. It'll take you to this website and you can start your business. And this is the most affordable thing I've ever seen in my life in regards to starting a business like an LLC or something like that. Like insane. Let me see. I'm getting all lost here. Let me stop sharing my screen. Perfect. So yeah, that was like a quick little glimpse, kind of showing you that opportunity there. My like computer is like going hot on me right now. I'm getting scared. I think it's gonna blow up. Getting all hot. I don't know why. But yeah. So that's an opportunity. All right, let's keep going through it. Here's the next one. And if you have any questions, keep posting them because I'm gonna go to the comments in a few minutes. So the next stream of income that I'm working on, especially in a time like this, oh my God, dividend investing, index investing, and Forex. Okay. When it comes to dividend investing and indexed investing, I am currently, if anybody knows of like a really good program, something I can follow, hey, you want to send it my way, I'll take a look at it. But there's a lot of really cool YouTubers out there that are just doing it for free like I am. And they're showing their portfolios and all this stuff, and I'm kind of just copying them in terms of the dividend and index investing side. And that's just, you buy a stock, right? Or a share of a company, what it's called. And you're really not too concerned with, I guess, the price, but it's more so like the cash flow that it'll provide, right? So for example, right now I'm buying Caterpillar because Caterpillar is a great company. They're going to be around forever. The price of their stock is down, which is great because that's why I'm buying it. And they have a dividend rate of 4%, I believe, currently. American Airlines, Delta, Boeing, freaking big companies that are on sale right now due to, what's going on in the marketplace. There's a financial play going on. And all I want to do is be a part of it on the positive side. That's all I want to do. And so when it comes to dividend and index, I'm just following a couple of YouTubers, seeing what they say, and going with that. And then when it comes to Forex, I got blessed when I was younger, like 18, 19 years old, I think. Long time ago. Just kidding. But I found this company, OTA, or Online Trading Academy. Super expensive, by the way. But very effective. It's like a school. It's like going to school. It's like going to college. They basically, their pricing is like tuition for college, right? So they're no joke, but they're real. But see, I got blessed because I didn't pay nowhere near what was required. I paid about 1/3, and I found a partner who was in another network marketing company called Melaleuca, and he's like a 7-figure earner. And so I connected with him, and he blessed me. He was like, look, just show me skin in the game. He wanted to learn about Forex as much as I did. And he saw an advantage. He's like, well, shoot, if I don't have to pay for it all, let me see if I can get this kid to pay some of it. So I paid 1/3, and he paid the other portion. So that third amounted to like 9,000. So obviously this is not an opportunity for someone that low income, low cash flow. This is more so for someone that knows their freaking numbers, right? They know their numbers. They got good cash flow. They got money on hand to, throw at an opportunity and see if they can make the most out of it. So to learn Forex or futures or options, stock trading, day trading, that sort of thing, Online Trading Academy, you might want to check them out. And the last stream of income. By the way, I haven't made any money with dividend or index investing. All I've been doing is simply going on Robinhood, and I'm not sure if you can see the numbers, but I got stocks like, oh my God, Caterpillar right now like $95. I'm totally buying them again. But so I'm just buying like different shares. I'm buying dividends. I'm not just buying stocks that don't pay a dividend. I'm buying shares that pay a dividend. So far, I put a little over 2K into Robinhood, put about 1,000 or so more in the M1 Finance. I really don't understand how to use M1 Finance. It's kind of annoying because like I want to add a share, but then I got to rebalance my pie. It's super annoying. I don't know. Maybe I'll learn it soon enough. Not too worried about it. But I say I didn't make money because you know, I'm kind of just buying things right now and just kind of seeing it. And plus I'm no expert, so I'm not trying to like give advice on that anytime soon. But it is a location to definitely create wealth, similar to like a Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, even like a Tony Robbins who puts money in index funds and dividend. I think it's way better than having a 401k in my opinion, because unlike a 401k or a qualified retirement account, if the market goes down, you don't make money. But see, with dividend investing, maybe index, but definitely with dividend, even if the market goes down, I still get dividends. I still get paid dividends. So I can still make money in a down market and then make money in an up market or a sideways market. Doesn't matter. So I always have cash flow. And that's what I'm most interested in. So it's very similar to like real estate. You buy a property, even if the value of the property goes down, as long as the rents keep coming in, that's all you care about is the cash flow, right? Super important. You're not just going to sell the property because it lost value. No, you got tenants, you got cash flow coming in. So same thing with like dividend investing. I'm not just going to sell stocks because the value dropped. Shoot, that's an indication for me to buy more. So I buy when the market's low and I don't even sell when it's high. I just hold on to it while it keeps getting higher and higher. I don't sell. I just hold on to it in terms of dividend. Forex, different ball game. Different ball game. That's all about pips and following day charts and things like that. A little more complex, but very interesting. Something I definitely want to learn for sure. Last but not least is creating content. So far, making videos on YouTube, I think I have over 360 videos, and that has equated to a little over $8,000 in revenue in terms of monetizing my videos. So I think the first 100 plus videos I put out were not being monetized because you need to have watch time, hours, subscribers, and that sort of thing. I believe for YouTube, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. You have to have both, not one or the other. So by the time you hit 4,000 hours of watch time, shoot, that might take you 100 videos, 50 videos to do. But the point is, if you just did it and you created a schedule, and maybe you watched that video that I made on the 90-90-90 rule, right? Where I talked about 90 days of preparation, 90 days of creating content, and then 90 days of execution. Might want to check that video out on how I pretty much use this strategy to create passive income, right? So now my videos make passive income. Is it a lot of money? No, but I've only been doing it for going on 2 years now. So if all I did was double that number, right? Let's take a look. In 7 years, how much money would I make? The first year I made 8,000, right? So 8,000, second year, let's say I do 16,000. I'm not complaining. The third year, 32. The fourth year, 64. The fifth year, I'm already at 6 figures, 128,000. By then I might have 1 million subscribers or more. How long did it take? 5-6 years. Dude, wake up. Wake up. Wake up, people. I know it's late, but wake up. This is what you need to be focusing on during a crisis. Nobody else is. Nobody else. When I say nobody, like I mean nobody. Like literally, the percentage is so small of content creators that are actually killing it, that are actually committed to taking action. It's less than 1%, right? So the opportunity is vast, right? I want you to think about this, and I heard this from a sermon that I was listening to. This one pastor was saying that all the money on the earth has not left the earth, right? So if you are in this mindset where like you feel like you don't have money or you can't make money or you don't know where the money is, understand that every single dollar down to the penny has not left the earth. Think about that. Where did it go? It just went from one hand into another hand, into another hand, into another hand, into another hand. So the money is still here. It never left. It's right here. It never left. It never left, right? It has not left planet Earth. All the money that has been ever printed, made, gold, silver, stocks, everything, it has not left the earth yet. So with that being said, please, please, I need you to get your head in the game. Okay? Let's take a look at some of the comments here. How you guys doing so far? AA says, Denzel, do you like using Robinhood? Yes, because I find it very simple. I just started with M1 this past Tuesday. Yeah, M1, I don't know what the hell I'm doing on M1. I really don't. It's like confusing. The whole pies are confusing the hell out of me. Robinhood, I just buy something and then it shows me where it's at. The only problem is you don't get like, you can't like really look at the chart too well on Robinhood. I think M1 offers more stuff in that sense. Let's see. Oh, you said you're a newbie, and this is the time to start getting into the stock market. I would totally agree. If you have the money, yes, totally agree. Tiffany says, I'm interested in teaming up. Wonderful. So if you want to team up with me on the Legal Shield side, if you go through my link, right, it's in my description on every YouTube video, right? It says it. It's Protect Your Kingdom Here with Legal Shield. That's the link. Click on that, become an associate, sign up either as a corporation or an individual, and we start talking to people about Legal Shield and how awesome it is to have the product and how it can protect them in particular situations regarding law. I think almost everyone is going to experience having to have an attorney. They're going to have to use an attorney for something at some point in time in their life. So you might as well have that, have that service in your back pocket. Tiffany, I do not use E-Trade. I do have an HSA account, which allows me to have, I think, a brokerage with Fidelity, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be E-Trade, I forget. So I might be getting into that soon. Let's see. Hidden says, I'd love to be a part of it. I think I can teach how much notes I got, LOL. It's mind-boggling at how many people are clueless about finance. No, it's true. I mean, it's so tough. It's so tough because once you start engaging in financial literacy and teachings, you got to understand that the surface level of financial information, mostly all of it is invalid. It doesn't apply. Or it's ineffective. Not that it doesn't apply, it's just ineffective. It doesn't get the results. Like me investing in a 401k plan. When I'm 59, I've never met a 59-year-old male or female that was utterly 100% satisfied with their 401k plan. Not once. But yet, it is pushed into the marketplace to teach people to have a 401k plan. And it just, so, you get on that journey to learn about finances, and then you do this, and then you do that, and you do this, and then you come to find out, you're like, damn, none of that is effective enough for what I want in my finances. So now you got to unlearn and relearn. And then you got to kind of step out on faith, right? And you kind of have to take some risk, and you figure out different strategies that the wealthy do. trying to figure out what the wealthy do, right? Which I'm going to get into a particular scripture, which is leading up to my point here. I got to find it. Let me find the scripture real quick. Hold on. I'm going to keep reading the notes. But for those of you that are in the Word, you're going to want to go to Luke. Let me see what the verse was. Luke 16. Let me see. Was it Luke 16, verse 1 and 2? I think that was the one, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to put that over to the side there. I'm going to keep reading some questions here. But I would love for you guys to read Luke. That's New Testament. Luke 16, verse 1 to 2, and then Luke 16, verse 8 to 10. And that is going to go over what I was just kind of talking about, how you have to listen to the wealthy. Listen to what the wealthy are doing. And Jesus actually told his people to do that. And I'm going to prove it if I can find the right scripture. If I know what the heck I'm talking about. Let's see, let's read it. So Luke chapter 1, Luke 16, chapter 1. And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. So this is wasted his goods. This is talking about being a bad manager, right? So you had this certain rich man, had a steward, right? So a person that was managing the rich man resources, and he was wasting his goods. So he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Question mark. Give an account. So here's the master saying, give an account of what you've been stewarding. How have you been managing your money, right? How have you been managing money, right? Poorly or wisely? So give an account for thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward. What just happened? The dude got fired. So God will fire you if you do not manage money. So that's the first point. Now, going to verse 8, where it says, and the Lord commended the unjust steward. The Lord commended the unjust. Who's the unjust? The sinner, the unbeliever, okay? The unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world, earth, are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Who are the children of light? The Christians, the Catholics, the believers. So here you have the Lord Jesus Christ saying that the unjust, the wealthy-minded, the rich, the wise, the ones that don't necessarily believe in God, right? Here he's saying right here. He's saying that the Lord commended them, the unjust steward, because he had done wisely for the children of this world, are in their generation wiser than the children of life, than the children of light. The people that follow Jesus all day long, pray and worship and sing hymns, are worse in terms of management, kingdom management over resources. So he says, and I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon. People who got this. He says, make yourselves friends of the mammon, of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, so when they fail, oh my God, what are we in right now? Crisis. All the rich people, right? All the wealthy, the airlines, the oil companies, the banks, all of them, they're going bankrupt. They're running out of cash. They're fleeing to the Federal Reserve. Okay? So what is he saying right now? Make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, so when they fail, that they may receive you. Oh my God, this is powerful stuff. That they may receive you into everlasting habitations. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Amen. I rest my case. Y'all need to make friends with the wealthy. Jesus said it himself. The Lord said it himself. He said you need to make friends with the wealthy who got this, because they're managing it better than the children of light. Oh my God. I bet you don't hear that in the church. I bet you don't hear that in the church, ever. You know why? Because if they told you that, you wouldn't go. A lot of people would stop going because they're like, yo, what am I missing here? What are we missing here? I'm in a crisis. I need money. I need resources. How do I get to the resources? God says, seek the kingdom first. He didn't say pray and worship. He said, seek the kingdom first. Everything else will be added onto you. So if you seek the kingdom first, before he gives you a miracle, before he gives you a blessing, he's going to give you an idea. What are the ideas, people? Financial opportunities to create attention, to bring money back to you. And should you manage this properly, this is God's system for management, is money. If I have $100, $10 of these dollars are not mine. So if I give 10 back to God, he's gonna bless me with more. So if I give 10 back to God, let me say that one more time. He's gonna give back to me more, so that I can have more to operate with. And so the more he gives me, the more I got to give back to the king. Because at the end of the day, this all belongs to the king, to the Lord, Christ. This is all his. I'm simply managing it by knowing my numbers, giving to the Lord, declaring it. I'm binding it here on earth so that it gets binded in heaven. So that if I were to lose this at any point in time, it's okay. If I lose this money, it's okay. Why is it okay if I lose this money? Because I've already binded my works up in heaven. So God forbid a tragedy happens to me. I die tomorrow, right? I've created assets, trust, the will, protection to leave for my children's children. I don't even have children yet, but they are going to be so set beyond measure. They're not going to know what a crisis is. They're only going to know what it's like to walk in the kingdom. And that is the ultimate position that you want to be in for your family. Ultimate position. Let me go back to some questions here. We're going on an hour and 30 minutes. And then we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. Coach Construction says, Denzel, how big is your whole life insurance premium and how do you have it structured? Mr. Coach Construction, currently I have two policies. They're both designed 10/90 splits. One of them I'm putting in 70 grand, so that means my premium's 7K. The other one's 15 grand, so that means the premium's 1,500. So they're both 10/90 splits. That's how it's structured. It's structured for the infinite banking concept for high cash value life insurance. And there you go. Nate Pent, what's the best program for dividend stock? No idea. But what I'm doing right now is I type in how to invest in dividend paying stocks and I see a bunch of YouTubers and I follow a couple of them, I watch a couple of videos, and I find the person that I like most. That's it. I kind of vibe with that guy, or I vibe with that person right there. Then I look at their track record. How long have they been doing this? How many, what's their authority? How well? A lot of them reveal their portfolios. Like, they're like, yo, I got 300K, sitting large. I got $500,000, sitting large, doing okay. Just a regular guy on YouTube. I like those guys. They give away all the info. It's the coolest thing. Tiffany says, interested in how you have the whole life structured. Also, I have run into could put no more than the annual premium. Auto puts as a mech ? Yes, I just went over that. The mech limit is the max amount of money that you can put into a policy. It's the IRS limitation. Then you have the company limitation, which is 10x the base premium when it comes to the major life insurance, companies. Matthew Henning, government-sponsored retirement accounts are terrible, subject to market downturns that disrupt compounding. Yes, when you lose money, it's so much harder to pick up steam again. So like if you have a 401k, you're basically saying, I'm okay with every decade or so, about 2 times per decade, I'm okay with losing money. If you have a 401k, that's exactly what you're saying. Even if you have 100% match, doesn't matter. Even if you have matching like crazy, it doesn't matter. You're pretty much just saying, I'm okay with losing money every decade at least 2 times. In every 10 years, I'm okay with losing money. And you can track this, right? You can look back at every downturn, at least 2 per decade, like big ones, major ones, right? Every single time. The only reason why those happens is it's a financial play. It's a financial play. It's wealthy people getting more greedy, getting more greedy. Or it could just be a catastrophe, such as a crisis of something that we have no control of, a bad storm, a global pandemic. That does play into it, but there's also, greed tied along with it always. You can't get away with it. It's, as long as everybody keeps doing their own thing and, just no getting around it. You just got to keep staying true to what you believe in and you keep moving forward. Don't get greedy. That's the main thing. You don't want to get greedy, but you have to recognize that evil does exist, right? And as long as the earth endures, it'll, continue to exist. Tiffany says, have to wait 7 years before can add more ? I don't know what IBC you're talking about. That don't apply to me. I'm able to add money each and every year. I'm able to max it out each and every year, and I don't have no problem. Matthew Henning says, look into MPI. Interesting. Don't know what that is. I know Universal Life. I know IUL. I don't think I've heard of MPI yet. What is MPI, Matthew Henning? So he says, look into MPI, Universal Life Insurance Policy, and not Whole Life IBC. Okay, so I would love for you to explain that. Maybe we jump on a call together or something. Explain to me what MPI is. If it's the same as IUL, then I guess it's just another term for IUL if you're saying MPI. That's what I'm assuming because you tied Universal Life to it. So Universal is UIL, right? Or no, Index IUL, Index Universal Life. So if you're referring to that, to my understanding, I have more cost with that. I'm investing in the market, so I'm capped out at, I have certain caps that I have to worry about, certain additional fees that I have to worry about. And I don't know with an IUL, if you can answer me this question, Matthew, with an IUL, do I have the ability to put in 10 times what my base premium is? What my base premium is, do I have the ability to put in 10x that number? Because To my understanding and some other videos I've watched, you can only put in 4x the base premium, only 4 times. With a whole life, I can put in 10x whatever my base premium is, as long as I design it properly. So if you can answer me that question, that might be something to look into. But to my current understanding so far, I haven't been presented with an IUL policy that has stood the test of time, that's, successfully been designed properly. So if you have a policy, Matthew, you want to send it to me, be like, yo, look, I got the numbers to prove it. Like, this thing is awesome, it works, dude. I'll jump on a phone call with you, and maybe you can educate me on that, because that would be really interesting. Hidden says the only time 401k works is when company matches. Can't lose that free money. No, you will lose that free money. You can lose that free money in the form of taxes when you start to withdraw that money. So you got to worry about the fees on the free money throughout the whole years of investing, and then the taxes, the ordinary income tax that you pay. Oh, it's terrible. Hello, Stephen and Martin and Kay Jones. How you doing? Sharona says, love it, Denz. Remember, order with God is important. God gets the first dollar, not the last one, because he is first. He doesn't get leftovers. Continue spreading the kingdom message. You are totally right. Denzel, we should talk for investing. I can help you on that side. Cool. Tiffany says, is yours whole life or universal with Guardian? Whole life. But it has the ability to function like an IUL without the high fees that IUL has on the other side. The only additional fee that I would have with Guardian is the index participation rider fee, which is a 2% flat fee on whatever I put in to that rider. So that's the only additional fee that I have to worry about. I still get my guaranteed base, which is the 4%, and then I can split how much cash value I want to go into that. So I do have that option, to basically have like a hybrid of whole life and IUL kind of put together, and it has a cap rate similar to what IUL has. That's a cool benefit there. Selvin says, you are right. I lost money on my 401k, 12,000. I know another guy that lost 60 grand. I know another person that lost 50. I know someone else that I think lost 25,000, 10%. I'm hearing all kinds of numbers. You know how long it's going to take to recompound that loss? And then by the time you break even or positive end, guess what? The next crash hits. And it's like there's no winning. It's like, darn it, man. There's no freaking winning. Hidden unknown. I will tell you 401k is great when company matches. Then you see if your company will let you pull out yours and move to self-direct. Now you maximize in dollars. Dude, I'd rather just have a self-direct from day one. I'd rather have a self-directed Roth account or a self-directed solo 401k where I have all the power, all the control. I would prefer Roth over the other one, because at least the money gets to grow tax-free, and then when I do reach 59 and a half, I have control over all that money, where it got invested in. So I have to find the right custodian for that. But, it's like, why waste money? Why lose money? Warren Buffett does not have a 401k. Ray Dalio does not have a 401k. Tony Robbins probably does not have a 401k. I think they have other forms, other better performing forms of a 401k. So maybe it's called 401k, but it's not those bad ones. Like, they have the more effective ones that are self-directed. You're in full control. Those are the ones I like, man. Oh, Matthew says MPI stands for Maximum Premium Indexing, a very specialized universal life policy. Oh, I did see that. So now I know what you're talking about. See Suncor Financial out of Phoenix, Arizona. All same benefits of whole life IBC plus more. Not exactly, because I looked at his website, man, and he was displaying all the fees. I was like, shit, that's a lot of fees, dude. What the hell? I know they don't have a floor of 4%. No way. I don't think so. So I could be wrong about that. You're going to have to help me with that one, Matthew. But yeah, no, I went to his website. He's got a pretty cool site. He's putting out videos. He's got like this patent on the MPI, maximum premium indexing. So, you know, I would like to see a real policy over the course of X amount of years and it's performed, because that's the problem that I've come across so far as an interested consumer, as an interested person interested in life insurance for the benefits of cash value growth rather than death benefit. And unfortunately, I just, I don't know, no one's really taken the time to kind of like put me to the side and like, yo, this is how it works. Or show me their own policy. Matthew, do you have one? Setup very similar as whole life IBC, but uses secured leverage to boost returns, will outperform IBC whole life. Yeah, I believe that, because that's what IUL always illustrates on their designs. It every time it always outperforms IBC. It shows a 7% average return or a 9% average return or whatever it is. So whatever the return is, that's what the company is allowed to display, but they don't have the, do they also display the guarantees? Like what would be the guaranteed return and how similar are the guaranteed returns to the whole life returns? Because I think that's what's more important, is that the guaranteed returns. So if the guaranteed returns are very similar to the whole life, I would stick with the whole life because I would have less overhead expense. Because at the end of the day, I have to pay that index account where that cash value is going into the index. I have to pay that management fee to the life insurance company, or the service charge to the life insurance company for that. Plus I have to pay the management or the annual fee to have my money grow in that account. So I have to deal with annual fees, flat fees, and then maybe some service charge fees. With whole life, I don't have to worry about those additional fees. So if like I said, if the guarantees are similar, then I'm going to stick to the whole life. But if they're drastically different, I would be very interested in that. Very interested in that. Oh, so you're working on setting up one now. Yeah, you got to be careful, man, because an illustration is just an illustration. It's not real. Remember that. So if an agent showed you an illustration, that's not real. That's fake. I tell my clients this all the time. I say, hey, I'm going to show you an illustration. It's not real. It's fake. What you should only be concerned with is those guarantees. Here's what the policy could and most likely will perform, but it's not guaranteed. Here are the guarantees. And here's the guaranteed cash value day one, what you would start with, right? But I would love to, hear more about that, because that always interests me, man. The life insurance, IUL and whole life. What should I do? Which one should I go with? That stuff is so interesting to me, man, especially at the age that I'm at right now. Whereas, and I've heard this from other IUL preachers on YouTube, is they do tell me that if you're older, it doesn't make sense. So do you agree with that, Matthew? That if you're an older individual above, say 50, maybe 60, that IUL is not good for that person. Would you agree with that? Because a lot of the IUL people that are explaining IUL say that, like credible ones and other YouTubers. So if that's the case, my whole audience, for the most part, that are over the age of 40 and 50, it wouldn't apply to them. Because the cost of life insurance is already expensive for a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old. It's already expensive. And with MPI, IUL, the cost of life insurance doesn't stay the same. It keeps going up because you're using renewable term life insurance, right? And we all know this, renewable term life gets expensive every single year. It doesn't lower. So with the whole life, I'm able to bring that term expense down because I'm using PUA to purchase that permanent life insurance so that I don't have that cost, right? So Martin says you have to watch out for the hidden fees and taxes. No, you're right. Matthew says older person can always write a policy on a younger person. Yeah, but how much money are you going to get into it? Especially a child. You can only get so much money in a child policy. And in order to get a policy on a child under the age of 18, the parent or guardian has to have what? Life insurance. And then they base it off that. And then even the younger person, say like someone my age, 24 years old, 22 years old, good health, all that, they're going to look at my income, your income. There's only so much that you can put on me, right, that the insurance company will allow. Coach Construction, Nelson Nash is smiling down from the kingdom at you, DNR. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Nelson Nash, most likely, for those that read his book, he's not a fan of IUL. I think he actually really is not a fan of it. I keep an open mind to it until I come across an individual that says, yo, here's a 7-year successful index universal life insurance policy that did not blow up. Here is a successful 20 plus year, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus year policy that did not blow up when they turned 70 years old. When I receive that, I'm all in. Until then, at least I have the safety of whole life, where it's like no matter what, even if IUL was better, how much better is it? Does it drastically blow me out of the park, or is it a little bit better, kind of better? I think that's what's gonna make me jump over the fence, is if you blow me out of the park, where it's like, damn, I can't even lie. I can't even lie. That's a great product, right? And now I can't be mad because I didn't do my homework. I can't be mad at that. I can just be like, damn, that's pretty freaking cool. Wow, that worked. And I'm also not going to be upset at my own policy because I know that all the money that I put into it, it's going to break even between years 4 and 7 on average. For my particular policy, it's going to break even by year 4 or 5, I think. So I'm not going to be mad at that. Plus, I have over 85, almost 90% of my money, day one, cash value I can use. So I'm not going to be upset, even if someone does beat my policy. But I would be like, okay, on the next policy I get, maybe I'll get that. That's kind of how I'm going to react. But until then, I don't know, man. Matthew, you got to help me. Send me your illustrations. Send me what they sent you, because I'd love to see it, man. With that being said, here are the 7 streams of income one more time. Remember, money comes to those who manage. I read you the scripture. The Lord himself said it. Make friends with the wealthy, because when they fail, they're going to turn to you for everlasting habitation. Oh my God. You know what that basically means? You're going to get promoted. That's what that means. There's so many stories in the Bible where someone that was unqualified, unreasonable, the servant, the steward of a king, of a queen, immediately rose to authority because they made friends, allies. They helped. And plus they were in line with the king, and the kingdom of God himself will bless his people. He promises that he'll never forsake you. And another thing I want to leave you with is that God needs you to succeed. Okay, he doesn't just want you to succeed. Like God needs, he needs, listen to what I'm saying, he needs you to be successful. Do you know why? Because you're his product. He made you. Any company that develops a product, for example, Apple, right? When Apple sends a product to your house, if it's faulty, what do? Well, they have a manual, right? And in that manual, they have a guarantee and a warranty that if there is a defect, that we will ship the product from your house, right, back to them at their cost. Then they'll ship it back to you at their cost. And if they can't fix the product, they'll give you a brand new one at their cost. Do you think Apple is doing that for you just because you bought their product? No, they're not doing it for you. They don't even know you. They don't even know you. They're doing it for their name's sake. That's their reputation. That's the Apple sign. So if that product is faulty, that means the whole company goes under, right? If a company is delivering bad products, they will not stay in business forever. People will determine, wow, that's a bad product. I'm not going to buy that, right? People will go somewhere else. So God made you, and if you're a bad, faulty defect in terms of financial, that's his namesake is on the line here. So if you are truly a kingdom citizen and you don't have money for whatever reason, or you have lack of money, lack of belief, doubts, things like that, that means you're falling further and further from the kingdom. So you need to get back in line, because that's his namesake is on the line. So he's going to preserve you. He's going to make promises, but you got to, hold up to it. And the difference between an Apple product and a human being is the human being has free will. So they have the free will to claim independence from the kingdom, which is totally up to the individual. Obviously, there's consequences. So it's similar to an Apple product, where if the product, you, with free will, is not abiding by kingdom principles, God's laws, then you begin to lose things, right? But if I'm in alignment with God and what he's offering and what he brings to the table, then I cannot lose. And if I lose, then his name is on the line here. His reputation is on the line. So whenever I'm giving and I'm declaring things here on this channel live, I'm putting God to the test. I have him sitting right here. This is why I rarely sit in this chair. He's sitting right behind me. He's protecting me right now, every single time. So I'm putting his name on the line here. I'm saying, God, I believe in you in front of all these people on YouTube. I say, God, I'm willing to look like a clown. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to make mistakes. But if you are real and your Bible is true and your word is true, then you will protect me in the midst of crisis and chaos and tragedy. You will protect me because your name is on the line, not mine. I'm the product. If I'm not functioning properly, either it was because I chose to out of my own free will, or he's got something else planned, right? So going to like the story of Job, how God allowed Job to just go through immense amount of pain and tragedy. Job stood with God, and he prevailed. And the promises, he never forsake him, although he let him go through a tragedy. So the only reason why a kingdom citizen would be going through a tragedy or a crisis is because he's trying to mold your character so that you can be effective to other people. And I'm going to close out like that. All right? Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. God bless you. Good night, Martin. Kay Jones, Joey, Matthew, Coach, everybody in here, Tiffany, pleasure speaking with you guys. Love the comments, love the support. God bless you all. Stay safe, wash your hands, preserve that toilet paper. Don't use too much because you never know. God bless you. Have a good night.